AI is transforming customer service. It's real and it works. And with Finn, we've built the #1 AI agent for customer service. We're seeing lots of cases where it's solving up to 90% of real queries for real businesses. This includes the real-world complex stuff like issuing a refund or cancelling an order. And we also see it when Finn goes up against competitors. It's top of all the performance benchmarks, top of the G2 leaderboard, and if you're not happy, we'll refund you up to $1 million, which I think says it all. Check it out for yourself at fin.ai.
Hey friends, it's Nikayla from the podcast Side Hustle Pro. I'm always looking for ways to entertain my kids without screens, and the Yoto Mini has been a total lifesaver. My kids started using it right away and haven't stopped since. Hours of stories, music, podcasts, and more at no screens or ads. Now through December 1st, Yoto is having its biggest sale of the year. Check out yotoplay.com.
So we'll start with the horrors of holidays past.
Yes.
What were holidays like for you, Vic, when you were drinking?
Well, funny, before I got here, I looked up the word holiday very briefly, and the explanation, the definition is an extended period of leisure and recreation. Now, for me, leisure and recreation, I wonder if that means casual sex and recreational drugs, because that's really what it translates for as me.
That's why we got it wrong.
Yeah, that's why I got it. That's what I thought it was, because that's all I did. Basically, my holidays were aimed at pulling men and drinking. That was it. From a very young age, actually. There was no mince on pillows and floppy hats by the swimming pool. It was based around getting as much booze down my neck as I possibly could at the airport.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, let's talk a little bit about those airport beers. So suddenly you're flown into a country at any time of the day where your holiday begins, and it could be 7 o'clock in the morning, and I would be ordering beers, and on the plane as well. It was another opportunity to get drunk, and smoking cigarettes on the back of the plane.
I know. Wasn't that madness?
Oh, my
Those
God.
poor people who sat in the row in front of the smoking row. I mean, what was all that about?
I don't know. Imagine being a really stringent non-smoker and sitting the row next to the smokers at the back. And then I also used to go in the smoking room at the airport.
Oh, yes, a smoking room at the airport, which was about the size of this
the size of the
booth that we're in.
Yeah.
With everyone crammed into it, having a cigarette. And it was just an awful place.
It was disgusting,
But
wasn't it?
if you were having your 7 o'clock in the morning beer, you may as well go all the way and squeeze yourself into the smoker's room and have a fag with 100 other people.
You'd always meet sort of like-minded souls in the smoking room. Be like, all right, mate, let's have a cigarette together. Where are you going? Mallorca. It was like a kind of like a camaraderie place, wasn't it? Where you could meet people who were as crazy as you were.
Or at the bar.
A big-nosed, rosy-nosed drinkers were always sat up there from 7 till the plane took off. And if there were delays, of course, you got a lot of pissed people on the flight, didn't you?
Yeah, definitely. And then, as you say, when you're on the plane, my ex-husband and I used to always have to have a Bloody Mary. That was our aeroplane drink, a Bloody Mary.
Yeah.
So, that was just part and parcel of a holiday.
That's the start.
When we were younger.
Yep. In the beginning, it was a bit more innocent, my holidays. I mean, we used to, from the ages of 14 and 16, go to France. It always ended up, us with the exhaust pipe of the Citroën dragging along the motorway because our car was all filled up with cheap beers from France to take across on the ferry. But my parents used to drive us and drop us off at the town where the nightclubs are and then come and pick us up at 4 o'clock in the morning. So from 14 to 16, those very young teenage years, it was still about the same thing. It was all about going to the nightclubs, dancing the night away and drinking all these different types of foreign drinks. I was very popular in these towns, Lucy, because one of my friends told me that tu veux un pipe, which I thought was hello, how do you do in French, is actually would you like a blowjob? So you can imagine I went down quite well with the French boys. Yeah, so I was going around instead of saying hello, how are you, I was actually offering fellatio to the young gentlemen in the bar.
And you were ever so popular and enjoyed your holiday a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought I came back with a few venereal diseases, but apart from that, it was
an aching jaw.
Yeah.
Sorry, we've gone off.
We've gone off.
I knew this was going to happen.
Yeah, that's too much. Oh dear, Lucy Lou.
Okay, well, I did ask you about
that's true. It was
holidays, and we
like-
do like to be honest.
But then, of course, I'm going to go on from that. There was the holidays to Greece, the girls' holidays. So you go from those, I say innocent, but they weren't, sort of young holidays where, you know, your parents had to pick you up from places to going on your own with your mates. And those were just debaucherous. It was shagathons, shagging competitions, who could sleep with the most men, pulling moonies in the high street, flashing your tits at cars going by. We were rough as you like on holiday. It was like an excuse to be completely mad.
And of course, we're Brits. Brits got a terrible name in Europe, didn't they, for holidaying? Brits abroad.
Brits abroad.
It was an excuse to behave as disgracefully as we wanted. It was almost as if we had this window of opportunity where we could do what we did and nothing else mattered. But it did matter. It mattered to the people who lived in those places
locals.
where we were holidaying. And the way we behaved was awful, but it was really quite traditional of us as Brits to go and do that. We certainly played our part in it, didn't we, Vic?
Well, also, it was the mid-90s and there was that ladette culture going on in England. So we were hugely part of that. For me, it wasn't about being better than boys. It was about being able to drink them under the table.
Yeah, being one of them.
Yeah, and show my masculinity. Whereas, obviously, the good thing to do in that situation would have been to show them that I was better by not drinking. I realise that now. But back in the day, I just thought, well, if I can drink a group of lads under the table, then I'm cool. Yeah. And so, it was skiing trips as well. I one time went... I mean, all my drinking and holiday stories involve promiscuity, unfortunately. So you will get some horrible stories from me today. But one of my favourite or worst, depending on which angle you're coming from, was the night I had fallen in love with this ski instructor on the mountain, completely sober, bumped into him at the bar at night, dragged him back he dragged me back to his room, which I didn't know really where it was, whipped his trousers off, and he had like an enormous penis. And I ran out of the doors. It was like a boa constrictor trying to wrap itself around. Yeah, it was like
it was frighteningly large.
It was writhing, trying to wrap itself around my ankles.
You see, some people would have been happy to stay.
No, I was out the door and I ran into a snowstorm, not knowing exactly where.
Screaming? Were you naked?
Screaming, half naked, in a snowstorm, and it took me hours to find where I was staying. And when I came back, the doors blew open and all my friends were there and I was covered in snow and I just went, I've just seen the biggest willy in the world, and then passed out on the floor. They never let me forget that story, my mates.
Oh, God. And that is true. I thought you were going to say you got lost or something. It's reminded me of a number of times, and particularly one when I went with my ex-husband before we were married. We went to Paris and got absolutely blind drunk. Couldn't find the hotel. Yeah. Could not find the hotel. It took hours to find it. So then we got to the point where, because you didn't have phones and GPSs and things like that, whenever we went travelling after that, we'd take a card from the hotel. So whatever happened,
or
we
some
could
petals,
find it.
Petals that you dropped behind you as you walked from bar to bar.
Because you've no idea where you are. You're in a completely unknown place. You get off your head. You can't find your way around.
No. I think it was the altitude as well when you're skiing in places like that. It was different altitude and different alcohols.
Excuses, Vic.
But you were drinking stuff that was really strong, like schnapps and all these really strong liquors. Yeah, knockbacks. I'm lucky I didn't die that night, really, because I was lost in the snow.
Right,
I know it's terrible, really. I know we laugh about these things now, but I was lucky to be alive and survive that night.
Well, we often say we're lucky to have survived.
Yeah. And then, of course, Lucy, after those holidays, I went off travelling, and that just became my life was a holiday where I just drank all the time. So my life plan generally, Lucy, is to feel like I'm always on holiday. That's always how I wanted to live my life, which I do a bit now, just minus the alcohol, live in a beautiful tropical location. But those days it was all about the booze, the beers at the airports, the promiscuity. For me, being on holiday meant hunting down willies and then running away from them.
Whilst drinking lots of alcohol.
Basically, that's it. Yeah.
And squeezing yourself into smoking rooms at the airport.
Yeah. It doesn't sound like leisure and recreation. It sounds like a mission that often failed and nearly ended in my death.
But They sound just like my holidays,
Unfortunately,
Vic.
they are.
I'm sure we've been to the same places at the same time. It wouldn't surprise me at all. But yeah, I mean, often holidays were spent in a blur. You'd spend all this money on your holiday. You don't really remember very much of it. And exactly the same, not just the airport, Vic, but every day you'd get up and it wouldn't matter what time, at 9 o'clock in the morning, we can have a beer, we're on holiday.
Yep.
Now, if you went on a 2-week holiday, you're drinking a hell of a lot if you're starting at 9 in the morning, and you would go all night long. I used to travel and go on holidays a lot with my best friend Rachel, and she's somebody I do compare myself to with drinking, because we were up for partying and drinking, and everything that we did that was naughty on the party scene, we did together, and we did to the same extent. But I always look now at Rachel as just being able to handle it better than I could.
Yes, I remember you saying about her before, you were like puking into a bowl in a minivan, and she was like, what's wrong with you?
She could always handle it a little bit better.
Do you think she wasn't drinking as much or as quickly as you were?
I don't know. Occasionally, I know I probably pushed the limits more than she did, but it's just that Rachel could handle it better than me.
Okay.
And we've often talked about people questioning their drinking and saying there's something wrong with my drinking. And even back then I was like, she's handling it and I can't.
Yeah.
So say, for example, the following day we'd have to go and pick up a camper van. I would just be so off my head and hungover the following day that I'd be literally, there is a photo of me lying on the pavement outside the camper van office while she's in there sorting out the details.
Yeah.
And after many years, it did come to a point where, rightly so, she was like, I'm just so sick of being the one who has to sort everything out, because I'd just be a heap. I'd be a heap of pissed up mess because I was drinking, or I'd be a heap of hangover. And it's not much fun holidaying and travelling with someone like that.
And it's like you're ruining her leisurely time away because she's ending up looking after you and sorting out all the boring jobs.
Yeah, and that was how we were. Rachel always looked after me, but that's what I think of when I think of holidays.
Yeah.
And there was lots of times when we'd go on holiday and we'd disgrace ourselves so badly that we would have to move to another town or another place or another hotel.
Yes.
So it was a lot of like going, getting completely pissed out of our heads, doing something so awful that we had to move on. Really awful, so awful that you just couldn't bear to spend another day there. And that's part of that anxiety as well. A lot of it because we couldn't remember what we'd done and we just assumed it was terrible. It probably was.
Yeah.
I particularly remember a time when Rachel used to live in Tenerife, which I guess that people in Australia may not have.
Yeah, it's a bit of a party island in the Mediterranean, isn't it?
It's off the coast of Africa.
Oh, is it? Sorry.
Yeah, but it's a Mediterranean island.
Oh, it is,
isn't it?
okay.
Off the coast of Africa. It's quite far down. And yeah, it was a really popular holiday destination. I remember going over to see her. And off of Tenerife is a tiny little island called La Gomera. And myself, Rachel and her boyfriend decided to go over there, spend 2 days there and 1 night and visit the island. We had all these plans. We had to go over in our car on a ferry. And we got over there and we basically just parked up the car on the edge of a sort of a cliff, a deserted part of the road, and just partied in the car all night. We had lots of party provisions as well as alcohol.
Right.
And we just stayed in the car all night, getting completely off of our heads. God. And the following morning, we took a photo of the car and you could just see where we'd got out to go to the toilet and there were bits of toilet paper. And other than that, we just stayed in the car, got back in and drove back over to back on the ferry and over to Tenerife. Didn't see any of the island.
Right.
We may as well have just got in the car in the driveway and partied in that.
I think what you're making me realise here is that our drinking holidays, like when we're supposed to be relaxing and having a nice time, was us just taking a party, a full-on rave to a different location and not experiencing the things that you're supposed to do on holiday, which is visit nice places, relax by a beach. There was so much chaos going on that I was either hungover or doing stuff like that, sitting in a car and not seeing the local, amazing sights that you should be doing on holiday. I never did any of that.
It was simply an excuse to drink and get off of our heads, wasn't it?
From earlier on in the day.
That is what a holiday was. So no wonder we struggle with a holiday or a breakaway now, because we've got to learn to do it a completely different way.
Yeah.
So look, let's talk about our recent Brisbane break, because it was such a great lesson for us. We're always learning, aren't we, Vic? And we stumbled through the first part of the trip, but eventually we found our groove on day 2 and beyond. So let's just sort of have a little bit of chat and tell the listeners sort of how the weekend went?
Well, we were excited going down there. We were driving down there on, what was it, a Wednesday?
We were I'd packed a few days earlier for my 2-night break. I was so ready to go.
Yeah, and I was kind of so excited just to, we'd booked a nice hotel. We were excited about going in the pool. And actually one of the triggery things, the first triggery things that I experienced was going up to the beautiful pool to go and have a look as soon as we arrived, and the smell of the pub coming up through the air vent.
Yes, there was a drain smell, wasn't there?
There was a drain smell that smelled like soggy beer mats. So I walked into this beautiful pool area, and the first thing I smelt was, you know, when you're cleaning out ashtrays when you've worked in pubs before, is that kind of smell.
I love that smell.
Yeah, but you can imagine it's just like a horrible pub smell. Dirty floors, cigarettes and booze all mixed together. And I was like, oh, that's horrible. So that first of all was... But before that, we walked into our room, didn't we, Lucy? We checked in. We felt all posh and proper. And we went up to the room, opened the door to this amazing room. And then we looked in the corner, and set up there was a huge cocktail making area.
It was the main viewing point of the room when you walked in. It wasn't a fridge with drinks in it.
No.
It was a bar which had alcohol displayed in little lines with, I think there was a cocktail shaker.
Yeah.
Were there umbrellas?
There was umbrellas. There was a martini glasses, like black martini glasses. I mean, it was all set up for a boozer. And to walk straight into that on our sober holiday, it was like
confronting.
It was like a sign, like, here you go, ladies, we're going to fuck you over.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is city life now. We've come from our comfort, our home where we've got our tea bags in reach, we've got our Netflix controller, we go to the cinema where we want to, and our walks and everything is in reach and it's doable. But suddenly we're pushed into an environment where there's booze and it's being pushed on us at every direction. Yeah. And especially it was next to our beds.
Yes, I mean, there was almost a fear of waking up in the night or sort of sleepwalking to the bar and mixing yourself a cocktail.
I wondered what you were doing then.
Drunk it. Did you hear the shaking? Vic wakes up and I'm sitting there with the cocktail and umbrella in the edge of the bed, sipping away at it.
Staring at me with big eyes.
Crazy eyes. Yeah, so the room was...
Having drunk the whole lot.
Oh, shit, I've
nightmare.
drunk the whole lot.
Oh, God. What a nightmare that would be.
But, I mean, what I was sleeping nearest to it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
It was probably about a metre or half a metre from my bed.
Yeah, I'll post a picture of it on Instagram just to show people how blatant it was.
It was shocking, yeah.
The hotel emailed me afterwards. I'll just quickly say that about the cocktail set. They email you afterwards when you do a booking online to say, how was your trip? And if they hadn't have done that, I probably wouldn't have said anything. But of course I had to say, look, could you offer people, make it an option that there's an alcohol-free room? I know no one else is interested in that when they're away, but who really drinks the expensive drinks in the hotel room anyway? It would have been nice to have the option of not having that in there. And I told a friend about it today, and she said you should have asked for it to be removed and just say, look, we don't drink. That's just not acceptable.
But I think I wouldn't bother asking, because to me a mini bar is like a fridge which you can choose to open and look in if you want to. Yeah. What we saw in there, it was a display.
It was in reach.
A visual display. And I know they put it there because they make money from it. And you say nobody drinks that, but you ate the gold chocolate, didn't you?
I did eat the golden chocolate.
There was golden chocolate there.
Yes, so that's true. Yes, I was out of chocolate, and I did reach into the cocktail area very briefly and snatch out the bar of gold
chocolate. And then we were guessing how much it was going to cost on.
Yeah,
on
we were wrong.
checkout.
It was $15 for a tiny bit of chocolate.
That's why they put it there, because people spend crazy money
and desperation. Like if you've been out drinking and you want to carry on the party, of course you're going to dig into those.
I've done it myself many times.
Yeah, I would have done too.
So what we did was we escaped the triggery hotel room,
and the stinky pool.
Went up to the bar, and pool area, and sort of thought, oh, we'll chill out up here and have just a lie down and a chat and a read before we go and explore the city. And then that was when Vic was triggered by the smell of the drain.
Yeah, the stench drain.
And then, of course, everybody around the pool had an alcoholic drink.
Yep.
Cocktails.
Yep, cocktails on trays being passing under our noses every 2 minutes.
And the waitress coming over and asking us if we would like a drink or anything to eat. And we were very pleased that they had some alcohol-free beers, which we did have. I think she brought them to us without poured already, not in the bottle.
Yes, I don't like it when they do that with alcohol-free beers because I'm not sure 100% what
we
it
are
is.
such miserable cows now.
Oh my
aren't
God, we are wanting to complain at every corner, aren't we? How dare you bring me something without the empty bottle?
Bring me the bottle. Re-pour it. I want a fresh one.
Will you stop that drain making that smell?
Remove the minibar. Cover it from view. It's offensive on
Don't
my
invite
eyes.
us to your hotel.
Yeah.
We're a bloody nightmare.
But what I was fascinated by was these young girls by the pool, really gorgeous young girls, chilling out. And as you do, you look at people watch. You think, I wonder what they're doing here. Obviously on a girls' weekend away, and they all had cocktails. I was fascinated by how slowly they were drinking them. Yeah. We would have gulped them back in about 3 sips, but I think we were up by the pool for a good hour, and they were
Sipping
halfway
away.
through. Yeah, I was like, oh, they're all right. They know.
I'm
what they're
almost
doing.
disappointed in people when they do that. I'm like,
Yes,
if I could drink, I'd be like, come on, get it down. You're like, what's the point? If you're questioning your relationship with booze, you're struggling to moderate, or your hangovers are causing anxiety, it might be time to reach out for some support.
Yeah, just talk to a mate about how you're feeling, contact a local doctor, find an AA or sobriety group. Vic's got one.
Yeah, just head to www.cuppa.community.
Remember, if you're questioning yourself, it might be time to seek support.
Even though this journey can be awkward, it is definitely worth it. And if you've enjoyed the Sober Awkward podcast, don't forget to review it, rate it, and share it with your mates.
Do they have to share it with their mates?
Yeah, of course they do. I'm not doing this for nothing, Hamish. Bloody hell.
How do they share it?
I don't know, just write it on the document.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my site softer?
Can I make my site firmer?
Can we sleep cooler?
Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. Enjoy personalized comfort for better sleep night after night. It's our Black Friday sale. Recharge this season with a bundle of cozy, soothing comfort. Now only $17.99 for our C2 mattress and base, plus free premium delivery. Prices higher in Alaska and Hawaii. Check it out at a Sleep Number store or sleepnumber.com today.
If you're a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility and your machinery isn't working right, Grainger knows you need to understand what's wrong as soon as possible. So when a conveyor motor falters, Grainger offers diagnostic tools like calibration kits and multimeters to help you identify and fix the problem. With Grainger, you can be confident you have everything you need to keep your facility running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
This episode is brought to you by Addio, the AI native CRM. Addio is built to scale with your business from day one. Setup is instant, and in seconds of syncing your email and calendar, you'll see all your relationships in one place, fully enriched with actionable insights. With Addio, AI isn't just a feature, it's the foundation. You can do things like instantly prospect and route leads with research agents, get real-time insights from AI during customer conversations, and build powerful AI automations for your most complex workflows. Industry leaders like TaskRabbit, Granola, and Flatfile are already experiencing what's next for CRM. Start now at addio.com/pod and get 15% off your first year. That's ATTIO.com/pod.
So, as you probably know, my comedy memoir, 1,000 Wasted Sundays, is officially out. All my magnificent fuck-uppery in one awkward hit. If you'd like to get your hands on a copy, it's now available from all good bookstores.
We always say all good bookstores, don't we?
Yeah.
Are there bad
No,
bookstores?
it's probably ones with moody sellers.
Oh yeah, really
Yeah.
depressed librarian folk.
Yes,
Okay,
yeah,
good.
yeah. So there are probably some, but we're only storing it in the good ones.
It's only made it into the goodies.
You can also get it from all good online retailers. The print version and ebook are out now, and the audiobook will be available in March. I've been writing my memoir for 5 years. It will make you laugh, cry and cringe and hopefully inspire a few people to reconsider their relationship with booze. If you love the podcast, then I think you'll love the book, even if I do say so myself. Hamish has read it. What did you think?
I feel like I know a little bit too much about you now, to be honest, Vic. Look, I really loved it. It was hilarious and surprisingly moving, but I feel like I've seen you naked in a literary sense.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's worrying.
Yeah. From an emotional point of view, seriously, it wobbled my teeny weeny wooden heart, Vic.
Okay.
My teeny little wooden heart.
Well, his wooden heart is broken. Anyway, so if you do manage to get your filthy mitts on a copy, please do me a favour and head to goodreads.com and give me a review. Doing that will help me get it out there to those that need a bit of sober support. So there you have it. My story, unwanted warts and all. Come and get awkward with me.
Not to be too demanding or anything, but seriously, go and buy it now.
Go and buy it right now.
Yeah, don't just tell your friends, buy it, and then buy your friends one or two.
Yeah, don't give them a copy, buy it. Yeah.
And you know what? Don't be careful where you store it. If you lose it, you can always buy another 5.
Buy another one.
Yeah.